LeBron James will strategically choose when to play for the rest of the season. MLB hopes for a short investigation into Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, and USC is finally figuring out NIL. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is March 29, 2024. By the time you see this clip, I'm going to be on a plane heading to work in St. Louis. I have a favor to ask of you guys. It's written on the board behind me. I haven't asked you guys to buy any merch because I don't have any, but I would like you to support my wife in her quest to become a Maxim model. The instructions are behind. Just stop the clip, write it down, let people know about it. We want to make her dreams come a reality. But let's also get the day off to a good start by not just thinking about pretty girls, but by talking LA sports. If you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. So by all means, comment. You know I reach out to you when you reach out to me. Love hearing from you guys. So before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. The big three in the Dodger lineup reduced the Cardinals to rubble yesterday. Dodgers 7, St. Louis 1. Mookie Betts homers, scores 3 times. Freddie Freeman homers, drives in 3 runs. Shohei Ohtani goes 2 for 3 in his home debut. Dodgers get off to a good start in front of the home folks. Meanwhile, Arthur Kaliev scored for the Kings, but their 4-game winning streak gets snapped up in Edmonton 4-1. Meanwhile, today, decent enough schedule. St. Louis is playing the Dodgers again at 7. Bobby Miller is going for LA, which begs the question, is he maybe more reliable now than Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who was supposed to be number 2 in the rotation? Zach Thompson gets the start for the Cardinals. The Lakers are in Indiana at 4. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both considered questionable. We'll talk more about LeBron in just a moment. And the Clippers are at Orlando. That game is at 4 o'clock. And it was only a matter of time. You knew it, I knew it, we all knew it. So much so that anytime LeBron James took the court, it was almost as if you could see the digital clock from the old TV show 24 in your mind. Seconds ticking away. When was LeBron or Anthony Davis going to get substantially injured? Now, LeBron James, as we mentioned before, is day-to-day with left ankle peroneal tendinopathy. Before we go any further about the situation, let's just translate that medical terminology into English. You have 2 tendons on each of your feet that go from the outside of your heel towards about midway through your feet. Those are your peroneal tendons. Tendinopathy means that there is pain there. They get injured from overuse, like what a professional basketball player would do with his feet, perhaps. Now, in other words, there's literally nothing James could have done about it. Age plus a severe pounding with both of his feet for many, many decades, it is bound to happen. James has dealt with it for 3 weeks, and he said he will have to manage it for the rest of the season by basically skipping out games every so often. James said playing through the injury is not strategically wise. The Lakers obviously would prefer to get a higher seeding in the playoff standings, but they would rather just basically get in and let the chips fall where they may with an available LeBron James as opposed to risking everything. The Lakers have 9 games left in the regular season. They are currently slotted for the play-in round again. So once again, LeBron James, just like the end of last season, will he or won't he? We'll just have to take it one game at a time. And yes, welcome to the Friday morning cliche festival. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred says he hopes that an investigation into the former interpreter for Shohei Ohtani is brief. Short, he even said. It only opened up about a week ago. Manfred told MLB Network that unless something pops up, they're going to pretty much let Ohtani be. Quote, given the way the story unfolded, it's important in terms of assuring our fans about the integrity of the game that we verify the things that Mr. Ohtani has said. And it's really that simple, unquote. And frankly, that's just prudent. You can't really complain about it. But all candor, it probably is going to be over quick because nobody said Shohei Ohtani bet on anything, let alone Major League Baseball. Unless, of course, it's some rando on social media who just hates the Dodgers in the first place and loves a good conspiracy theory. Or in this case, a poorly thought out conspiracy theory. Baseball obviously has rules against betting on the game. Now, Ohtani has denied betting on anything. Even the interpreter, who is accused of taking $4.5 million from the two-time MVP, said Ohtani didn't wager anything. The interpreter has been accused of stealing that money to pay off a bookie. We still only have small news outlets that are reporting that USC basketball coach Andy Enfield is going to leave and go to SMU out in Dallas. We still have no confirmation from the national outlets that it's a done deal. We don't have anything in the LA Times. And for that matter, we don't even have anything on the USC Athletics Twitter account mentioning anything about Andy Enfield. We've been talking about it for the last couple of days. I've speculated that Enfield is trying to initiate a bidding war between the two schools to get more money. But what if there's more to it than that? Can I offer you an additional reason why the story about Enfield leaving might be premature? Football coach Lincoln Riley said USC's NIL collective has taken, quote, some massive jumps here in the last several months, unquote. USC's NIL collective is called House of Victory. You may have seen advertisements for it on the sidelines of USC sporting events. House of Victory's budget has tripled compared with last year. And if you're a longtime fan of USC athletics, you can kind of understand the reason why the school and the collective took so long to basically come together and get some sort of a functioning unit going. Because the football team was handed one of the NCAA's most historic punishments when it was discovered that Reggie Bush's family received improper benefits 2 decades ago. They basically got hit with everything short of the death penalty to the football program. You're damn straight USC wants to get this right. They don't want to go through that mess again. Now, the collective's executive director told The Athletic that House of Victory can now speak to high school prospects, which means that they sort of have a role in recruiting now. Now, SMU already has one, I might add. The collective there 2 years ago paid athletes about $35,000 each. But consider all that old money that would be coming in to a USC collective. You don't think that would dwarf $35,000? I mean, granted, you would want $35,000 back if you're 19, 20 years old. No doubt about that. But when you consider that Caleb Williams, as a USC football player, was doing national commercials and getting compensated for that, you could easily imagine that the recruiting, if Enfield stays at USC, that recruiting would be significantly easier because the Trojans and the House of Victory could just blow $35,000 right out of the water. Just absolutely just blow it to smithereens. Why make recruiting harder if you don't have to? And if Enfield could also get a pay raise, why would you leave? LAFC, as we spoke about yesterday, added a defender, Maxime Chanot. He's coming to LAFC, but apparently he is coming with a foot in his ass. His old club backhanded him on the way out the door. He was let out of his contract with a French League 2 team. And to be honest with you, I can't pronounce the name of the team. I don't speak French. That team released a statement, and it's nasty. The statement from his former team claimed that Chanot, quote, that the team, quote, cannot imagine keeping a player who does not honor his commitments and who cannot give 100% to defend his colors, unquote. In other words, he's a sellout, according to his former team. Now, look, this is such a messy split that I don't really know exactly what to believe. He said he asked out of his contract a month ago due to family issues, and the team said no. And then the team claimed that the guy came back and said, well, give me a pay raise then. And it all went downhill from there, and the players stopped trying. Chanot, by the way, it's not necessarily his only time being a bad team player. He left MLS's NYCFC with another red flag. He clowned his coach on social media. So I'm not necessarily sure LAFC is bringing in a good locker room guy. Sounds like you're adding cancer to your locker room, frankly. But who am I? I could be wrong. Bradley Wright Phillips, by the way, is the fastest player to 100 goals in MLS history. And he says that the best thing that could have happened to Galaxy forward Dejan Joveljic is Chicharito leaving LA Galaxy, and that way Joveljic gives a chance to show what he can finally accomplish with consistent playing time. Joveljic is tied for the league in goals with 5, and he could set a league record Saturday against Seattle because nobody in MLS history has scored in the first 6 matches of a season before. Joveljic has done so in the first 5. What is the change? What has made the difference? Why is Joveljic scoring so much? Well, according to Wright Phillips, quote, I've thought more about what makes Joveljic unique. I keep returning to the timing of his movement. It's making nonstop runs. It's being on the blind side of center backs. It's taking a gamble on balls that drop in and around the box. It does look simple, but being in the right spots isn't easy. Then when you do get your chances, it's being clinical. I'm torn between whether you could teach that, if it's second nature, or if it's built through experience. As a player, I was always gambling. What I do know is that Joveljic was born with it. He just has it, unquote. So that's a hell of an argument for keeping that guy on the roster. Despite the fact that he missed a couple of other easy opportunities, he could be pushing 8 goals, 9 goals right about now. By the way, Wright Phillips forecasts Joveljic to finish anywhere with 15 to 20. The Chargers have visited with running back J.K. Dobbins on Thursday. He is the latest player who once played for Baltimore to come a chillin' out in L.A. Keep in mind, the Chargers' new offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, formerly of the Ravens, the Chargers' current GM, also formerly of the Ravens. Now, Dobbins doesn't come with a clean slate. He tore his Achilles. He tore his Achilles in last year's season opener. He's been cleared for football activities, but he has only played in 9 games in the last 3 years. Matter of fact, he missed the entire 2021 season with a torn ACL. So the Chargers might want him. But how often are they going to have him on the field? Speaking of finally getting on the field, forward Christen Press, who also plays for the U.S. women's national team, is finally back training with Angel City FC. Give it up to the lady. It has been an arduous 20 months since a knee injury. 20 months. And by the way, repairing that knee required 4 surgeries. Dedicated to that game. Give it up for Christen Press, finally back training with Angel City FC. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about LeBron James and if his idea of strategically choosing when to play is a good idea. What do you think about USC figuring out NIL? And if you enjoyed the content, 2 things. Vote for my wife in that Maxim Cover Girl contest. And don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Porcha El Queso production. Take care.